Previously on the Talos Principle 2. 1K utilized a device that shifted gravity when used on the gravity plating that was encountered in the megastructure. Yes, I know that was Melville near the lab, but I think that can be it. Ooh, sprites. I'll deal with that after I figure this out. Yes, of course. Yes, I need the gravity shifter. Yes, it would work better if the gravity shifter was the one powering the fan. As I'll need the connector it wants to follow. Yes, I'll need the hexahedron for this. Well, to figure out the rest. And there's a quite limited amount of room for using the red beam, considering that it's mostly cut off by bars. I just need to figure out how to open the way to completing it. more difficult to figure out, and well, while I'm here, might as well deal with this sprite, follow it. Also test out if there's a time limit. I need to keep track of it. And if I don't do it within a certain amount of time, I need to do it all over again. It looks like that isn't the case, considering that there is the difficulty of shifting gravity. Which is harder than I might think, considering how I got that jump on. I'm sure I'll track that down later, but for now, puzzle 7 needs to be completed. And I can already tell this is going to be more complex, as it looks like I'll need to move the different parts to where they're needed. Well, certainly need to open this in order to actually access the hexahedron. I'll need to temporarily trap myself here. Thankfully, I can use the fan panel to make that possible without trapping. And now I have an additional hexahedron to utilize. And I'll need to use it to, well, stand the nectar. And that is not enough, as there's a part of it that's blocked. And that is not enough either. I'll need to use the fan panel again. Well, It's not as if I'm that. Yes, it needs to be here. Much less complicated than I thought.
That was extremely convoluted.
You think I don't know that? Now for the last puzzle of this verdant canyon. Miranda certainly knew what she was doing. And this would definitely require me to swap things around and... Yes, I'll definitely need to use the grav shift for much of these. Okay, nothing else for me to do except head to Melville and that lab and do whatever she needs me to take care of.
There you are. Good.
What's happening?
Inside this lab, there's a machine. As usual, I have no idea what it is. Some sort of generator, if I had to guess. When Byron got stuck in the system, it went haywire. It's currently outputting enough energy to power all of New Jerusalem twice. As you can imagine, that's causing quite a bit of interference.
So what do I do?
You go in there and you switch it off. Shouldn't be hard.
Right, I can see what's meant. Enough power to power the needs of 2 meters.
flame is not yours to wield, creature of clay. Touch it, and you will burn.
Pandora's an obstacle, and it looks like this is what's coming in the next part of the subdivision. Although that is to come. As right now I have stars to collect.
You know, dealing with this hyper-advanced technology is quite challenging enough without the place also being bloody haunted.
Did you figure out anything else about the generator?
When I said it was outputting enough energy for 2 New Jerusalems, I wasn't kidding. It really was. And no emissions of any kind. I'd have to run more tests, but it seems like a perfect power source. And then imagine what the megastructure can do. And what we could do with that kind of energy. I wonder if anyone in New Jerusalem really understands.
Yes. That could definitely be useful for our kind. And allow for an expansion of the population.
Come on, out with it. What's the problem?
I know you're very busy, but you need to pay more attention to what's happening. Everything's slowing down. People are losing track of the bigger picture.
They're still traumatized by New Alexandria.
It's more than that. When I organized the last expedition, I had real trouble finding volunteers. There's no enthusiasm for the outside world anymore. They want to look away from history, pretend there's no past and no future. I'm really worried, Athena.
Okay. I promise I'll look into it as soon as I'm done with this.
Which, eventually, she did.
The philosopher Straton of Stagira had little respect for the gods, and instead placed his faith in Prometheus. Driven by hubris, he asked questions that must not be asked, and revealed secrets that should have remained hidden. It is said that for these offenses, he was put to death by the people of his city. Can you see the folly of his actions?
There is no folly in pursuing the truth. It was only his methods that were mistaken.
Then what methods do you propose he should have used?
He should have spoken allegorically.
And achieved nothing but pretty words, to be misinterpreted and misunderstood by 1,000 fools. What worth is truth if there is no one to understand it? Consider this as you approach the flame. You see this, and yet entire empires have been built on dreams, lies, and illusions.
Some dreams are truthful.
Then perhaps the truth can be found in places where Straton would never seek it. Consider this as you approach the flame.
I see Pandora is an obstacle for whatever text that constructs.
Well, that was surprisingly calm, given how aggressive Pandora has been elsewhere. I didn't think she'd even want to talk to you.
I've toyed with the idea that the entities might be epiphenomenal in some way. Instead of causing the changes in the system, maybe they just respond to them.
Yes. That would appear so. Looks like it's time to look for the stars and, well, make sure I've dealt with everything else there. Which I did.
yearn for a better world. Yearn for it with such intensity that your heart suffers. Keep your eyes on that distant vision even when you know that you may never reach it.
Right, for the other star, I'll need to go somewhere where I can connect a beam to that relay of connectors. Yes. That's part of it. And another part involves using the grad shifter to create a beam up there. That grav plating that looks out of place. It's feeling I'm missing something. Yes, I'll definitely need the inverter to make a red beam. Although, I'm not sure what else is needed. Perhaps... yes. I'll need what's up there. Yes. Something to mix it into. And then all I need to do is to aim it towards the monument.
The honest philosopher is rewarded with poison. The hypocrite is rewarded with power.
So it's a law that punishes the observer for observing it. Right, that's... Well, there's nothing for me to take care of here. At least, not for now. So I'd best head to the next part of this region. See if I can open up more of the megastructure.
I remember when I was quite young, I was having trouble figuring out what I wanted to do. I wanted to see the outside world, but even back then, that wasn't really encouraged. I ran into Byron on Jameson Avenue, completely by accident, and I was too nervous to talk to him. I mean, he was one of the first companions. But he noticed me, and we started talking, and he was really encouraging. Introduced me to Garrus, and took me along on an expedition to the quarries in the mountains. Whatever flaws he may have, Byron cares about people. He changed my life.
Yep. That's Byron in a nutshell.
So, here it looks like there should be an anti-gravity elevator, but it's locked down. I'll need you to connect to the data stream again. I'm really sorry, 1K. I know it's a risk, but I think it'll be worth it.
The problem with having access to better power generation is, would it be used? Until next time. Hail the rabbit!